What it do, what it do, what it do, good people, what it do. It's your girl Empress back up in the building one more again. And if you are here rocking with me, that means we made it another week. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back, you know what I mean, for making one more week, right? So as you come in, please by all means show your girl some love and hit that like button. The likes are for YouTube traffic. They help me get in the scrolling to be able to attract other like-minded individuals like yourself. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm your girl Empress. This is Life in the Black Memoirs. And welcome, welcome, welcome. What it do? Go ahead and if you're new and you feel compelled to, go ahead and let me know that you're your first time here and you're stopping by, so I can show you some love. And for all of those who are returning, you know what to do, you know how to do. Drop a what it do in the comments. Let me know that you slid through to exchange some positive energy with your girl. So moving right along, it is Thankful Thursday. And what we do in this segment, we take time to pause to thank God, spirit divine, your higher power, however you identify, you know, um, if you haven't, hopefully when you woke up, the next breath, you told God thank you. But if you haven't, take this time to say thank you. It's good to have a grateful heart. Trust me, it is. It helps you throughout your day. Um, Lighten the load, so to speak. And what I am thankful for being able to have the strength within myself to face my fears. And that's a big thing. I'm not saying that I've conquered every fear that I have. No. But what I am doing, I am actively working on conquering the things that I can conquer. This past weekend, I was able to conquer, a little bit of a fear that I have. I'm not completely out the woods, but I'm better than I used to be. What I used to believe was so big, with me chopping down at it, is now at a manageable level. And that's one thing that, I want to inspire you all to do. And that is look your fear in the face, and I know, trust me, I know that's why a lot of people don't do the inner work, because when you have to turn around and look in those corridors that you don't want anything to do with, um, it it causes a blockage, because the more you don't address these fears and these low vibrational things, um, it prevents you from moving forward. You may be moving forward, because lifetime will progress, but with you becoming the better version of yourself, that part is what I'm talking about. That's what's going to become stagnant. So face your fears. I face mine, and in this one particular area, and I'm so happy I did, because with the little victories, if you want to call them little victories, it gives you self motivation to to carry on. That's something that you can put into your memory bank and say, you know what, I faced that and I was successful in coming out on the other side. And so when you continue to appreciate the little victories, the bigger obstacles don't look that big, because once you get moving on it, and hopefully that's what we're all in here doing, in being active on our journey, um those obstacles that we believe that is so big, eventually over time they will become manageable, to the point where it's nothing, a figment of your imagination. So that's where we're trying to get to. So it's Thankful Thursday. Let me know, drop it down in the comments what you're thankful for. And by all means, don't hit me off with I'm thankful for my car, house, family. You know, that's a generated response. I want you to think about it, dig deep. Usually I say, think about something that you usually take for granted, like hearing or walking, or whatever the case may be, something that you do second nature. In second nature, just imagine if you didn't have that ability. Those are the things that I want you to be cognitive of, to be thankful for. um Moving on, it's time to check the temperature. Hopefully your soul, how's your soul doing? Hopefully your soul is on the higher vibrational level on the spectrum. You already know I make it a point to keep mine on the higher, on the higher cusp of the higher vibration, because it's just better. You know what I mean? It just lifts my spirit. um if you find yourself at this point, and you're tense and your shoulders are at your earlobes, what is it that you can do to get yourself in a more manageable level, in a higher vibrational level that's going to increase your spirits, bring your spirits up. If you feel, like you're in a fog, what can you do to get out of there? This is why we come here to this channel week after week, and hopefully, you're getting some gems, some sauce, some game, some juice, some drip, whatever you want to call it, to arm yourself on how to be progressive, move through. You know what I mean? We sometimes, the best way to deal with things is go through them. We can't ignore them. Just imagine if, let's just say hypothetically, if it was going to take you 5 years to get to the better version of yourself, are you going to start today? Because if you're the type of person that keep putting things off, then that 5 year is going to turn into 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and the way time is right now, ain't nobody got time for that. Time is flying. We already in June. We like halfway through this thing. So, today is a time for you to get serious with yourself. Um, I wanted to talk about habits today. I restarted a book by Stephen R. Covey, Cov as in Victor, EY. Um, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You may or may not have heard of this book, but if you're an entrepreneur, definitely this is a book to get. But if you're just looking to improve yourself, which is why we're here, this is a great book to get. And I'm a bookworm. I love to touch pages. If you're a bookworm, then that's just like the ultimate. But if you are driving and in the gym or whatever the case may be, and you don't have time to sit down with this actual book, guess what? It is in audio form. You can either pay audiobook or whatever, but it's for the low on YouTube. It's for free 99. Why wouldn't you, right? Free 99. You can read this book. I'm sure you could. So, I'm going to read this excerpt and talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to be done. This is on page 46. If you do have the book, here we go. It says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." That's from Aristotle. Our character, basically, is a composite of our habits. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. The maximum goals. Habits are powerful factors in our lives because they are consistent, often unconscious patterns. They constantly, daily express our character and produce our effectiveness or ineffectiveness. As Horace Mann, the great educator, once said, habits are like a cable. We weave a strand of it every day, and soon it cannot be broken. I personally do not agree with the last part of his expression. I know they can be broken. Habits can be learned and unlearned. but I also know it isn't a quick fix. It involves a process and a tremendous commitment. Those of us who watched the lunar voyage of Apollo 11 were transfixed as we saw the first men walk on the moon and return to Earth. Superlatives such as fantastic and incredible were inadequate to describe those eventful days. But to get there, those astronauts literally had to break out of the tremendous gravity pull of the Earth. More energy was spent in the first few minutes of liftoff, in the first few miles of travel, than was used over the next several days to travel 500,000 miles. Habits, too, have tremendous gravity pull, more than most people realize or would admit. Breaking deeply embedded habitual tendencies such as procrastination, impatience, criticalness, or selfishness that violate basic principles of human effectiveness involves more than a little willpower and a few minor changes in our lives. Liftoff takes a tremendous effort, but once we break out of the gravity pull, our freedom takes on a whole new dimension. Like any natural force, gravity pull can work with us or against us. The gravity pull of some of our habits may currently be keeping us from going where we want to go, but it is also gravity pull that keeps our world together, that keeps the planets in orbit and our universe in order. It is a powerful force, and if we use it effectively, we can use the gravity pull of habit to create the cohesiveness and order necessary to establish effectiveness in our lives. So that's all I'm going to read out of this book. Um, our habits, our habits, our habits, our habits, our habits. If your habits are not progressing you closer to where you want to be in life, you need to unlearn them bad boys. Okay? Because it's wasted time. You're it's like the hamster wheel, on the hamster wheel, just turning the wheel, going real fast and not making any progress, not going anywhere. This is what I've consistently said over this time since this channel has been birthed. It's our energy. They said right here that the gravity pull to get out of the Earth's atmosphere was so great that the energy it took just for the first few miles to break through. That's why a lot of people don't, follow through on their New Year's resolutions, because that first couple of miles, that breakthrough point is sometimes it's unbearable. But you have to hold on to the long term. And the long term is getting to where you want to be in life, getting to where you need to be in life. But if we don't push through that gravity pull is going to bring us down, back down to being comfortable, pull us back down into conformity. I was listening to the other day, shout out to Angry Man, another YouTube creator. He was talking about in the Monday morning motivations that he does, sorry, proper English. Saying that comfort is the death to progress. Understand that. The more you stay in your comfort zone, progress is never going to happen. That's why, you have to push yourself, force yourself to do those things, do the inner work to put yourself in a better position. Because if you don't, the progress that you are wanting to accomplish is not going to happen. Let's go back to the book. It says, sow a thought. How many times have I said, and I will continue to say, it's our thought process. Let's think about this for a second. Hopefully I can be quick with it. If throughout your life, you've been unfortunate to be subjected to low vibrational actions done towards you. So if it's done, back to back, are numerous enough or repeatedly enough for you to now take on this belief that negative things are just going to happen to you, that's self-sabotage. That's limiting beliefs. You're not going to move forward with that. And I know I'm human. I get it. When we are forced with things that are unfortunate to us and they keep happening, it's almost humanistic to say, you know what, this is all life has to offer. But that's not true. If, from these unfortunate events, of course, we're going to feel some type of way. Okay. And these unfortunate events and their results end up eventually becoming a part of what we consider our triggers, right? But if we don't take the time to heal these pockets, these areas in our lives, this is the type of mentality that we're going to wake up with every day. Imagine waking up every day with a dark cloud over your head. We've all seen like the memes or cartoons or whatever, and that individual is walking and a gray cloud is over their head, and maybe it's raining, maybe it's thundering and lightning or whatever, but it's just over them. This is what happens when you don't do the proper work, the inner work to heal your soul, to heal those areas in your life where you need to separate from, definitely take the lessons, but we can't just sit there and just say, oh, this is just what it is. This is just my life. No, it's not. But if you want change, it's going to have to come from you inside. You can try to mask it by buying clothes and, the external things, but that stuff is temporary. And guess what? You can have boatloads of that. But if your inner self, your soul is not in alignment, then how can you really enjoy the fruits of your labor? So, so to speak, you can't see the beauty in life because this gray cloud that is hanging over you, is preventing the sun to shine. So you can't even see the vibrant colors and just life in general that is happening around you because you're trapped. You're trapped in this self-sabotaging demeanor. That's like, we've all been around kids. Would you allow a baby to sit in a dirty diaper? Would you allow that to happen? If you did, the baby would incur a rash. The baby will start crying because it's not normal to sit in a dirty diaper. So the more you resist getting in traffic to do this inner work, get on your journey. Start today if you haven't done so. That gray cloud is just going to get grayer. And then your continence is not going to be where it needs to be. And so then, because your vibrations are low, your energy, this gravitational pull, like I say, like attracts like. That boomerang of how you're feeling inside, you're going to attract more grayness to go in that cloud, more rain to go in that cloud. When are you going to get in alignment, start working on your soul, doing that inner work so that light can project out of you and dissipate that gray cloud? That power lies within you. But the more you hang your hat on, oh, this is just my life, nothing ever's gonna, work out for me, then nothing is never going to work out for you, period. Because that's what you're putting out into the universe. I'll never, nothing good ever happens to me. Guess what? all you're doing is attracting all of that back to you. So you're not going to progress. So the object here is to start implementing positive conversation to build yourself up. Just like the book says here, like I keep reiterating, it all starts with your thoughts. Your thoughts reap an action. Okay? If you think about it, in order for you to do something, you got to think about it first, you know? So sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, it reaps a habit. So if you continue to tell yourself that you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, I don't know how to do it, I can't do it, you say all these things, then it becomes a habit. And then guess what? So a habit, you reap a character. So now that gray cloud it becomes a part of you. That's that dirty diaper. You go in, you take a clean shower, you smelling good, but then you come right back out of the shower and you put on a dirty diaper. That's what this is. It becomes your character. That self-limiting behavior, that self-sabotaging behavior, it becomes your character. And then nobody wants to be around you. At least I know people that are of high vibration don't want to be around a Debbie Downer, a Billy Bad, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you don't have, or you haven't given yourself the permission to break through. Because maybe, family or close people have just bombarded you with those negative low vibrational words to the point where you've taken them on as gospel. And that's not the truth. Just like he said, habits can be learned and unlearned. So don't just hang your hat on this is just what it is. It doesn't have to be that way. And so, it's just like me conquering my fears. I congratulated myself, feeling good that I'm chipping away. And when you acknowledge those little, if you want to call them those little victories, then it gives you the gas within yourself to keep progressing, to, overcome those obstacles in your life. But the more you're on the negative spectrum, the low vibrational spectrum, then, your character, that is eventually, it says reap a destiny. That's what you're eventually going to be. That's what your life is going to end up being like. And I know that's not what you want. So by all means, unlearn these habits. The habit that you have of saying, this is all it is. It's not going to be more than this. And then you just sit and you become a hermit. You don't even understand it's so much life to be lived, because you've allowed the past just to keep you imprisoned. The past is gone. You're the one that's holding on to all these negative emotions, these negative vibrations. Hopefully that you're not in those environments that you were subjected to, that have created this gray cloud character, because that's what it is. You got to get in alignment, turn your lightsaber on, dissipate that gray cloud so you can see where you're going. Because if you think about it, when it's raining outside, and I know some people love the rain, but when you think about raining, what you want to do? You want to be at home, you want to cuddle up or whatever, you want to watch a movie, drink your coffee, drink your tea, whatever. It's a more lower tone. You don't want to do nothing. You just want to be posted. But in this life, because hopefully we're all on this journey to becoming better, you can't just you can't have rainy day feelings, rainy day vibes every day. If you did, you'll never make it to becoming the better version of yourself. That's being on the couch, so to speak, when this gray cloud character is running rampant in your life, you're not going to be able, to really see and have the, how do I want to say, have the energy, I guess, have the energy to keep attaining, keep going, keep chipping away. Like I was talking about my fears earlier, I got to keep chipping away. I'm not out the water. This is years of unlearning that I have to do. But just for instance, if you get into the better version of yourself was only going to take you 5 years, but you're always putting off day one, that 5-year plan is now 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 20, 30. Then you look back and you want to blame life or blame the job, blame, the relationships you found yourself in. But technically, it's all on you. You have no one to blame but yourself. It's no one's obligation to heal you. Heal these wounds that'll help you dissipate this gray cloud that keeps following you, that you're allowing to follow you. It doesn't have to be there. It's just that you've given up. And why have you given up? Because you keep telling yourself, hello, the thoughts. You sow that thought that you can't and that nothing good is going to happen. And, if you found yourself in a string of, relationships that ended up in a bad result, different faces, but it's the same result. You can't hang your hat on is somebody else. This you. That's your energy that you keep projecting. You keep calling. You keep calling those low vibrational things to you because you're not taking care of and healing those areas in your life that will help you, get to, like the book says, create cohesiveness and order necessary to establish effectiveness in your life. If you don't get it together, nothing's going to come together. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But the thing about it is, the change always going to believe it's going to start with you. I can sit here and beg you, plead, cry, come on, get on your journey, do it. But if you don't value yourself to say, you know what, enough is enough, I'm not going to sit in this dirty diaper no more, then that which you're saying you want to be in life, things you want to accomplish in life, is just a figment of you. It's just a dream. It's a wish. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to sit here and read this book and get all this juice, right? Get all this drip, get all this knowledge. But if I don't put anything in this book into action, pointless. All of this is pointless. And then sometimes, you'll have people, this is an aspect of being triggered too. Depending on whatever it is that needs to be healed in our life, if we haven't tackled it properly, there are going to be, God always finds a way to turn the stove on, right? And it's out of what I believe to be a loving measure. It's almost like disciplining your child. You're disciplining them, so they won't hurt themselves or get themselves in a worse predicament. And so when God sends lessons and they look like you're nagging, why are you telling me about this? Maybe because they're illuminating this great cloud character that's not even your MO, but over time you've took on this character because you've allowed to take on this character. It's just to identify. It's like, don't tell me this. Now you mad, you triggered. But look at what the person is saying. Is it true? Is it coming from a person that loves you? Is it something that you honestly need to fix? Are you being defensive? Because a lot of people, and depending on what is said and how it's said, a lot of people first reaction is to get defensive. But after the smoke clears, hopefully there is no smoke because you're around people who respect you and you respect them. Take some time to think about it. Is that character really you? This gray cloud character, is it really you? If it's not, but you found yourself taking on this character every day, then you gotta get busy. You gotta get busy to do away with, divorce yourself, separate your mental, because the more you sow these thoughts, they become actions. They become who you are on an everyday basis. What he said, we are what we repeatedly do. Aristotle said that. And this book was written in 1989. These is gems still. You are what you repeatedly do. So if you're repeatedly telling yourself that, you're not going to be able to accomplish this and you can't do that, then if it walks like a duck, quack like a duck, look like a duck, it's a duck. If you want something better for yourself, you got to get off of that hamster wheel of self-sabotaging behavior. You have to create habits that are going to propel you, not continue on these habitual self-sabotaging conversations that you're having with yourself. Life is not out to, take a chunk out of you, and sometimes, unfortunately, we're all faced with things that we don't want to be, that we don't want to face. But the only way through it is through it. If you run, I've said in some videos prior, whatever you resist will persist. Come on. All of this is up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you keep getting in the same relationship and you don't take time to figure out what keeps going wrong within yourself, and some people, they don't even take time to heal. They're in relationship, they get done with this and they're not even really done with this till they're talking to another person, or they try to numb the pain by getting into another relationship, but you're not fully healed, or you haven't even begun the healing work. Then how can you really, blame the other person? Because it takes two. I've used this analogy before, of the garden. It's the seeds that you put in there that will eventually grow. Whatever you sow, you'll reap. So if you're going into something at 12%, and then how can you get mad at, someone else for matching you when you want more? If you want more, then you have to be more. You want friends, you have to be friendly. You want to be loved, you got to be lovable. If you want to be trusted, you have to be trustworthy. All these things. You see, it takes you to get involved. These habits that we've created for ourselves, if they are not helping us progress to the next level, you need to cut it. Do away with it. You have to release that which no longer serves you. That relationship is no longer serving you. Take the bits and pieces, be thankful of the good times, and whatever went left, learn your lesson, but don't sit in that dirty diaper making somebody else pay. Nobody else wants to smell that. But until you get it together within yourself, you're just gonna be, if you watch the cartoon of Charlie Brown, the dude that got the dirty blanket, he's just got this cloud of dirt over him. Linus, I think his name is. And it's just like, come on, man. You want to be clean, But on the outside, you clean, but on the inside, you look like Linus. But what's in you eventually comes out. Like it said, it becomes your character. What is in you eventually is going to come out. That's just the energetic exchange. So even if you tried to hide and mask that this is not you, eventually it's going to start seeping out your pores. And then we're going to see the real character. But if you don't want that projection of you for somebody to believe that that's how you really are, then you got to get in this traffic. You got to do the inner work. You got to do away with that low vibrational attitude in every area of your life, you know? And that's just it. I don't want to, and I know it may sound like I'm yelling, but I'm just passionate about it because this is what I tell myself. Trust me, I get down on myself sometimes when things, don't go the way I thought they would have went. I'm human. I feel a certain way. But at the end of the day, I allow myself to have, in just that moment, yes, it didn't go the way that I planned it or intended it to go. However, I can't just hang my hat there. I just can't keep this dirty diaper on. Why? Because that smell is going to repel people. And I always say, this is not Castaway. You're not Tom Hanks, where you're on the island by yourself with that good old soccer ball Wilson. We all need each other. So with that being said, do away with your dirty diaper. Get in alignment. You know what I'm saying? Get that lightsaber beam. Get that strong so it can dissipate that cloud, that gray cloud that is potentially becoming your character. And I know that's not who you really want to be, but because you feel that you can't, and the more you tell yourself that you can't, the universe has said, what? You can't? Oh, what? Okay, then I'll just keep delivering. I can't. Oh, you're not worthy? Oh, okay, I'll just deliver. You're not worthy. So what do you want delivered? I know everybody would be mad as hell if you ordered some headphones from Amazon and they sent you some socks. You know what I mean? The universe is going to deliver that which you are in control. This right here, the things you say to yourself, your thought process, if it is on the low vibrational level, the spectrum, that's all you're going to get back in return. Get cohesive. Get your habits together. If look at what you do on a daily basis. And I know all of us, if you are a parent or you're working or you're an adult, whatever, yeah, you go to work. It becomes the one in the meal. That's what we always do. But you don't have to stay there. If these habits are just keeping you stuck and stagnant, then you need to find some habits that are going to propel you forward. Because that's what we want to do here. We want to move forward to get to the better versions of ourselves. But if you don't make that move, that first initial move, and keep moving, just like it said, that negative gravity pull to get out of the Earth's atmosphere was so hectic that they used a lot of energy within the first few miles. Then the next 500,000 miles they had to go. It gets easier once you break through that barrier. But if you keep resisting to get involved in your own inner healing, how you gonna get to smooth sailing? Which brings me to the title of this video. What flavor is your Kool-Aid? They always say, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. And so, in my culture, they say, you sipping on that Kool-Aid. So I want to know what flavor you sipping on. If you think that you're going to be able to stay stagnant, not heal, not do your inner work, and become the better version of yourself, you really sipping that Kool-Aid. And so I just want to know what flavor it is. I don't want none. I just want to know what flavor it is. Because it got to be good to keep you in this comfort zone. This comfort zone of this great cloud character, stinky diaper wearing, that don't nobody want to be around, and now you on this "oh woe is me" campaign. Just knock it off. It's not even you. Who were you before the string of bad relationships? Who were you before this negative work environment? Who were you before your family members were talking negative to you? Who were you? And if you don't know who you were, man, you need to start today to figure it out. You need to figure it out. Put the Kool-Aid away. Pour it out. Pour it out. Give it to somebody else who want to sip it. Because if you want to be better, you're going to have to drink from a different fountain, a different cup. You're going to have to get a different beverage. Things are going to have to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change, nothing's going to change. And whose fault is that? My mentor, he don't even know it. He's another YouTube content creator. Claim over blame. You know what I mean? You got to claim that. You're the one choosing to sit in that dirty diaper. So don't be mad when people don't want to be around you because of that negative energy, that low vibrational energy that you're emitting, and then don't nobody want to be around that. That's nobody's fault but your own. But that's what usual people do. They blame other people because they don't want to take that deep look inside. Trust me, I know. Just like this book says, it takes work. It takes commitment. A lot of my friends look at me and yeah, it took me a long time to get to this point. And I got to stay on this point. Why? Because life has situations that will come to derail me. So I got to keep feeding myself good stuff, good gas. You're not going to put diesel in a car that runs on unleaded because you're going to damage the engine. You got to feed yourself the proper nutrition. Okay? So whatever that proper nutrition is, and Kool-Aid for sure, if you do it right, it's not healthy because it's like the half a bag of sugar in there. But with that being said, sugar produces a high, but it's temporary. So, it may look good for a second. You blaming other people might look good for a second, but when you go home and it's just you by yourself and you really get to thinking, and that's where you're unable to go to sleep at night because these thoughts, that record player keeps playing because you won't take it off the record player. You don't take that music off. That character, you are now him or her. But I'm letting you know you don't have to stay there. I'm here to inspire you. I don't have nobody cheering me on. I just looked at my life and I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I don't need nobody to motivate me, pump me up. I got my tools now. But for those who are still looking for that path, this is your environment. Everybody in here, whether or not they want to be honest about it, we're all working. We're all works in progress. And it took, I was very upfront. It took a lot for me to even be able to do this. But the more I do this, it helps me overcome things that I would not have even imagined. If somebody would have told me last year that this time I'd be doing this, I know I would have been like, yeah, you on that Kool-Aid for sure, for sure. But because I know that there's better for me, I'm not going to allow these situations that have accumulated in this gray cloud to follow me. When I see that gray cloud from a distance trying to come, oh no, I activate my lightsaber. I get my high vibrational on, because as soon as it reaches my atmosphere, I'm pew 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 pew. I'm shooting it down. Why? Because I know that if I allow that gray cloud to consume me, then I'm gonna crumble like stale bread. And that's nobody's fault but my own. So with this being said, I'm gonna get ready to close. Get this book, man. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Powerful Lessons in Personal Change. If you don't want to get the book or you don't have time, YouTube has it for free 99. Get it and feed yourself some good food so you can get to where you want to be effectively, cohesively. Because the more we are broken on the inside, our environment is going to reflect that eventually. And it's nobody's fault but our own. And even with that, people get to a point where they're like, well, I'm not even going to try to fix it because it's just so much to fix. But how do you know it's so much to fix if you don't even attempt to start? Yeah, it looks like a lot now because you haven't chipped away at nothing. But once you start chipping away, then the obstacle becomes smaller. They become manageable. And then they become something that you can just be like, oh, done with you. But how can you do that if the habits that you have, that you keep reinstating day after day after day after day, you're reconfirming? You're telling the universe, don't give me nothing, but I can't, I won't, there's no reason why, I'm not worthy, no one likes me, I'm not nothing. That's all. The universe is sitting there like a waitress taking your order. And this is something you can listen to Abraham Hicks. I told you about that lady. She was talking about this is what the universe is going to deliver. You keep talking that, and that's what you're going to get. Sorry for the improper English, but that's just real. So if you're ready, or you need somebody to run some things by, my email is going down across in the banner at the bottom. It'll be in the description box. I don't know everything, but sometimes just getting it out and talking to somebody that's unbiased, that can just look at the situation in a logical manner without the emotion. Because let me tell you, emotion is trapped up in that gray cloud. And that's the majority that keeps us stagnant. So take some time to look at your habits. Fix what you need to fix. Get busy. Get in traffic. Life is a movement. Get in traffic. You deserve that. You deserve everything you want in life. But you're not going to get it if you're still, using these self-sabotaging conversations, this language that is just going to keep boomeranging low vibrational things to you. I know you want better for yourself. I know you do. I know I do. So implement something, just one thing that'll help you, so you can see that victory and say, you know what, I can be committed to this. I can put myself on the road to becoming better. And guess what? It's not that bad. Yeah, when you're starting, just like how it was saying, it takes more energy to break through that gravitational pull. But once you get going, it's easy street. That's science. Once you in motion, you gonna stay in motion. But if that's the truth, on the other side of it, whatever's not in motion is not gonna be in motion. So where you want to be? You want to pretend like you doing something, because you will be found out. So you might as well just start doing the work honestly, because when you start doing the work honestly and you start working on yourself for real, then you can be what people say, your authentic self. Right now, are you your authentic self? Do you even know who you are right now? Did you forget? You need to find yourself. Find yourself by identifying these habits. Sure, you can be going to the gym, you can go to work every day, you can do those things, but what is your inner life, your soul looking like? Is it that dirty diaper, or is it sunshine? Is your energy bringing you good things, good tidings and joy? Or is it bringing you that BS that you would rather ignore and do away with? It's your call. Life is definitely what you make it. Oh my gosh, hold on. What did it say? Hold on, let me find this and then I'm gonna close. It said, here it is. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. That destiny is your future. So what are you putting in it? You putting dirty diaper in it? Or are you gonna change that and put that high vibrational in it? So, your future can look bright. Sure, there are gonna be obstacles, absolutely. But once you start working on yourself, you start looking at obstacles different, like I have. And I'm not saying you got to be like me, but when these obstacle comes, they're learning tools. In every obstacle, there is an opportunity to learn, or there's an opportunity for you to fall to the wayside and crumble and just pour on me, I can't do it, you have to choose which one, because the universe is going to deliver what's in here. Get your habits together. It's a tremendous commitment. You are worthy. Get to the point where you honestly love yourself, flaws and all, because you only get one time at this life. Ain't no do-overs. I play video games. Ain't no reset, restart, power button, turn it off, turn it back on. None of that. Ain't no dress rehearsal. This is it. So you gotta do what you need to do now. Start out small. I'm not saying that, everything in your life you got to tackle right here and there. But if you want better for yourself, you got to start. You have to start somewhere. Because, at the end of the day, it's all on you. No one else. Okay? So, once again, get this book. It's on YouTube for free 99. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, leave a comment. It's the YouTube algorithm. I mean, of course, I would love to have a conversation with each and every one of you. This is why I say drop it in the comments so we can help each other, because you never know what you talk about somebody else. It may help someone else. That's another thing why we have to heal, because You know, somebody may approach you needing help, and you can guide them and give them some tips on how to navigate their waters. Okay? So, face your fears. Start chopping down at these obstacles. You know, heal those areas in your life. Do away with those dirty diapers. Get in alignment so that lightsaber can become stronger to dissipate that gray cloud that is almost becoming a character, becoming who you are when that's not true. Get to the point where you can be authentically yourself, and then you can draw authentic people towards you, and then you guys can have an organic and an authentic interaction with each other. Okay, so I'm your girl Empress. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I loved it. Get this book. If you would like to, you know, maybe start reading together, you know, a couple of pages or what, just let me know. But you know, the jewels that I get, you know, I'll share them with you. But until then, you guys, life is a movement. Get in traffic. Okay, get in traffic. It's going to be so much better once you break through that gravitational pull. Okay, break those habits, unlearn those habits. Stop talking negative to yourself. Self-sabotage is going, I believe it should be up there with like heart attacks, diabetes, and all kind of things that kill people, because it really does. It lays you down. So get up, because you can. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.